Hey, what's going on, everybody? Troy Rawlings here. Troy Rawlings Live, LA Radio Now, and this is another Meet the segment. And you get to meet the amazing entrepreneurial talent, uh, amazing business development and financial services pro. Friend of mine, we go back right about 30 years. She was like, she was two. She was two. I knew her
That's right.
parents, actually.
That's
That's right. Kevette Kane, Mari More Life. What's going on, Kevette?
right. Nothing much, Troy. How are you? Just keeping busy.
I see. I see. Now, I mean, from we met in Baltimore. She was working and doing some stuff in Puerto Rico. Now she's back in Greenbelt, Maryland, and has established her business, setting everything up. How you
Yeah,
like it being back home in the DMV?
it's comfort. It's comfort. No, it's good to be back home with the people I know and love. I love Puerto Rico, and it's will continue to be my second home because I will be back and forth to the beach.
Yes, it was beautiful. You showed me some shots down there. I was like, oh. And still prayers for the people in Puerto Rico. There's still, you said there's still a lot of rebuilding going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of infrastructure that still needs to be reorganized and redeveloped, and so they're working on that process. I guess over the last couple of years, folks have just had to adjust to what we call the new normal, and so it's good. It's not like everything is not working. There's a lot that is working, but there's still a lot that needs to be brought back. In order for it to reach a level of functionality and efficiency that they were at before the storm.
Now, I want to definitely go into the business and what you have to offer people. I'm anybody knows me. I do a lot of business consulting and work with an amazing team, and Kevette Kane is a part of that team, along with DLP Consulting and some other entities we work with. But I want to touch on this because Kevette was the first person that I could talk to that was actually there when the storm, the hurricane, everything hit Puerto Rico and lived through it. And she told me some stuff that just kind of, you don't until you like firsthand a lot of Latino brothers and sisters who had people there, they talked about it. But America has a way of we hear about a tragedy, we try to help with the tragedy, do whatever, and then kind of just passes. But you talked about the year after,
Yeah.
and with and what all did that do for you in light of uh, coming back to, I guess, mainland, because Puerto Rico is part of us, and mainland and regrouping? What did it do for you? What did that do for your? Because you can't go through something like that and live through something like that and survive something like that and not be changed.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say totally transformed in my thinking and in my activity. Before the storm, I was working a food delivery service, and my family was running this family-based business, home-based business, and we were doing pretty well with our client base, and everything was growing, and we were actually at a point where our business was ready to grow. However, Maria came and literally ate everything up, wiped everything away, blew, across the island and changed our lives. And so I kind of describe her as a hungry vegetarian because we had a veggie food service, delivery service. And I said, well, she ate up all of the, she ate up everything. So we didn't have anything that we could serve. There was no food, there was no electricity, and there was no water. So for us being able to regroup, we simply had prepared before the storm to have some provisions, for a few days. And we actually ended up being trapped a little longer than what we had prepared for. But thanks to friends and neighbors, we were able to continue to survive through that to get the food that we needed for each day. And of course, that's totally a blessing. But then moving forward from that point, we had to really adjust our thinking, and okay, we were in survival mode, not necessarily thriving, but more so surviving. And so for about a year, I'll say we ate out of a box, whether it was MREs from the military or it was donations from Jehovah's Witnesses and from the local governments.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was challenging because not being able to get out and work. We didn't work for a little more than 90 days. We went without electricity for at least 4 months, and we did not have any running water for at least a full month after the storm. So the water came back first, which was absolutely essential because water is life. And then we were able to get access to electricity, which helped us to have some basic needs like access to a fan, things like that to keep you cool in the heat. Being able to wash clothes in a washing machine. Being able to do the basic things that most people would take for granted. But then all of that, of course, came after surviving the actual storm. Now, the storm was devastating in itself. Just the magnitude of the storm, the strength of the winds, the amount of water that was in the air. My family lived in a third floor apartment, and our third floor apartment took on about an inch and a half of water because there was water coming in all the windows. And there was about a foot and a half of water on our balcony that got stopped up. And so we had to kind of bail the water out after the storm. But that's not uncommon. Everyone on the island, literally everyone, suffered something, and some a lot worse than others. And some will tell you, oh, it wasn't that bad. But my honest perspective is that if I had known that it was going to be as bad as it was, we would have left beforehand. But then the flip side of that is that I'm so grateful that I had that experience because it really helped me to appreciate so much, to be grateful for the little things, but even to be grateful for the privileges that we have, the things that we're able to have on a regular basis that were taken away at that time and I didn't have access to and I didn't realize were such a necessity.
So if you're just tuning in or just checking this out or just came in the link, hopefully you came in the link because rewind or whatever. I'm talking to a great friend of mine and a colleague, Kevette Kane, owner of Mari Moore Life. And she was living in Puerto Rico. She's now back in Greenbelt, Maryland, and has reestablished a lot of her business that I guess you've never kind of gotten away from it, but you fully jumping back into it with all guns blazing per se.
Yeah, well, I would say transitioning. I've described myself for the last 6 months in transition. I really felt like in November of 2018, we as a family had started to get past, to really get to a point where we were kind of past the storm, past the disaster. Everything was finished up as far as disaster relief was concerned by the end of July, into August of 2018. But then October, things really kind of normalized. And then by November, we were good. The challenge for me was that right in the first week of December, I was notified of my father's death. And so then I had to make some quick adjustments and come back to handle some final affairs for that. And so that's what brought me back to the States ultimately.
And it's key with that because, of course, we've discussed it, but we always talk about how important it is for families to be prepared because one thing is definite is death. Yeah. So you want to make sure you have your life insurance and things in order. But you have even more because you have those products and essential products for people with financial services. You have that experience. You have that background. But
yes,
let's talk a little bit about the business development side of things because you have a passion for helping people in business, small business and beyond, but definitely a lot of times you get people in small business that they may have capital and not know how much capital or opportunity or things they have to get things done, or some things that you've seen that people need to have done essentially at the beginning that because of lack of knowledge, they let go and it can bite them in the butt later or what have you. So what are some things that you strategically do with your clients initially that you can give us for free right now? The free
Yeah.
information you can
Well,
give.
okay.
So,
Well, for free. What I normally do is I'll sit down with them and kind of do
well, I
an
mean, for
outline
to
of what
us,
their
not
business. Yeah.
free to us in the
Right. Right.
interview,
For
not
free. Yeah. Right. Not to the
not
community.
to the.
Right. But yeah, I would sit down with them and kind of do a structural outline of what their business looks like currently. And then, of course, going through that process, we're able to establish what their goals are for the future. I usually go for a year out and then 5 years out, and then long term, what their plans look like. And based on that, we'll be able to look at what their financial plan needs to be, because you've got to have a financial structure to carry you, from point A to point B, and then, to point Z ultimately. And then even to point X, which most business owners don't even think about, being able to have an exit plan from their business, or what they're going to do to go beyond their business, but helping them to kind of get that thinking and understanding what the ultimate goal is, whether it's retirement or continuing to work the business or selling the business, or whatever they choose to do. And then working on or understanding what their current marketing looks like in order to continue to promote the business. And
Right.
so, with my background in marketing and sales, because I have been an entrepreneur for the last over 20 years, and I've worked multiple businesses. So I've been not only in sales, but I've also worked in customer service and had training with that. And so what I found is that sales is customer service, and helping my clients to understand communications and relationship management, how they're able to really reach out to go to the place where they didn't think that they would be able to go, but to make that step a little easier through their communication.
Right. Right. So, so who are some of your key clients? I know, of course, I know. I keep having to say I know, so I don't sound like I'm like Troy. You already somewhere in the interview. Sometimes when you're doing interviews, people feel so comfortable because it's just me and them. They're like, I just told you this. No, but what are some of your? Do you have any? I know you work with anybody. You work with any business, pretty much. Is there any?
There's no specific, I guess, niche that I work with per se. I do prefer to work with niche businesses, or those who want to carve out a corner of the market that is unique.
Mm,
I specialize in that myself because of the business that I last had, the one that we worked before Maria in
right.
Puerto Rico. Being able to create a vegetarian food service in an environment where people don't really like vegetables. We
Mm.
were told that it was absolutely impossible. But what we found that we
Wait,
did,
wait, wait. They don't like vegetables in Puerto Rico?
they do. Puerto Ricans do like vegetables. We found, because they love our food, but they don't want it to look like or taste like vegetables. And that's a lot of people.
Wow.
And that's Americans too, because I mean, you think about it. A lot of times, people don't really know how to cook vegetables properly, and so they'll either overcook them. They'll boil out, first of all, boil out all the nutrients, and then by the time you get it, it's either burnt or mushy, and so they don't have the flavor that it
Boy,
should
was
have.
nothing like my mom's mushy broccoli, boy.
Don't even
Then it'd be
start.
mushy and then she I used to know you put they're not
But
supposed to
but
know
for
a pie
us,
is supposed to stay fluffy. That greens ain't done until it's at the bottom in
right?
black.
Yeah, no. So
You
what we
didn't.
were able to do is kind of transform the thinking about what a vegetable, would be and what it would taste like, so that people would actually be able to take in more nutrients and enjoy them. So our slogan was that we created vegetarian food for meat lovers, which was huge. And because we were meat lovers, people always ask us, "Are you a vegetarian?" No, I'm not a vegetarian. I still eat meat, but what we chose to do was to eat less meat,
Right.
so that we would have a healthier diet, and it did help us to lose weight and gain energy, and we were able to do a lot of that in the process for our clients. But I just mentioned that to say that I'm able to
Smart.
work with my clients, so that I can help them to identify who is their niche market, who is their target audience, and then being able to find the way to create a market or to contact that market which already exists, and to make themselves available to that market. And a lot of that comes with education, when when you're starting a new business, And so I do really well with training, and I'm very detail oriented naturally, and so I enjoy pulling out the details that most people would overlook, just kind of in the scheme of things on a general basis. So, but that's what I do for my clients. I'm able to challenge their thinking and to help them to get to the next level. And everybody needs a coach. So.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you too long. I want people to get in touch with you and actually get some consultation. Kevette is easy to reach. Give people your information and how they can get in touch with you. All over.
Okay. All over. You can reach me online through Instagram at Kevette Marimor. It's KevetteMarimor. Or you can reach all of my handles from that account as well. That's me personally, and feel free to send out a DM. You can reach me through email at marimorlife@gmail.com. That's marimorlife@gmail.com. And you can also reach my website at www.marimorlife.com. I do have a blog there, and that's it's more of a lifestyle website. And what I also do is work with my clients on financial planning. So I'm helping to get their financial plans together, because most businesses fail due to poor financial planning or lack of capital funds. And so being able to establish that as early on as possible, a way for them to be able to grow money, so that their money is able to grow for them while they're focusing on growing the business, is absolutely essential. And then you can give me a call at 301-583-6212. And you can also
that number again was 310-583-6212.
301-583-6212.
301-583-6212. And I'll have all this information in the YouTube link information below. And also, as we do the Instagram blast, we'll have it in the information as well. So yes. Awesome. Kevette Kane, Marimor Life.
Well, thank you so much,
Troy. Mainland.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
And you're in Greenbelt, Maryland.
I'm not looking forward to the second winter I've had in the last 6 years.
Oh wow, I can imagine. So
cold weather is not my friend, but yeah.
How was the temperature in Puerto Rico during the winters?
70s. When it gets to be 70, I put a sweater on because I'm cold. Yeah. So I totally.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm in Los Angeles, so I understand.
Yeah. So.
But
I am looking forward to being here, helping some of my clients to get through the winter, and building their businesses in the process. Because next spring everything's going to be blooming.
This is the time.
Absolutely.
Get with Kevette Kane and Marimor Life. And that's the Meet the For Now. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in, for checking us out. Make sure you reach out to Kevette Kane, and at least just have a consultation call with her. You'd be surprised what she can help you with. So talk to you soon. Thank you, Kevette.
Thank you, Troy. I appreciate you so much.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good day.